हेलो हेलो
हाँ हेलो हेलो
हेलो
yes is it visible
हेलो
hello
यस यस
how
कैन
are
यू
you
लिसन
fine yes
हेलो
I am
हेलो
listening
ओके ओके
what am I
হ্যালো
hello
হ্যাঁ ময়ূক সবাই কোথায়?
হ্যাঁ স্যার আমি কথা বলছি ওদের সাথে, ওরা অনেকে বলছে যে কি ভিডিও আর অডিও ব্লক দেখাচ্ছে।
স্যার আমারও তো স্যার ভিডিও ব্লগ স্যার বিজিত।
হ্যাঁ, ভিডিও ব্লক তুমি ওখান থেকে আনমিউট করে নাও না।
সবার অডিও ভিডিও ব্লক থাকবে, অডিও ভিডিও ব্লক থাকবে। তুমি যখন অ্যানসার করতে যাবে বা কোনো কোয়েশ্চেন করবে তখন হ্যান্ড রেজ করবে, তখন তোমাকে আনমিউট করে দেওয়া হবে, আদারওয়াইজ তুমি চ্যাট বক্সে লিখে দেবে। হয়তো সবাইকে আনমিউট করা থাকলে সেটা একটা মানে আলাদা এক্সট্রা আওয়াজ সাউন্ড হতে পারে, এই জন্য সবাই আনমিউট আছো।
শুভঙ্কর, শুরু করা যায় কি?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
হ্যাঁ, তাহলে বিজিৎ প্রিন্সিপাল স্যারের পারমিশন নিয়ে স্টার্ট করে দাও।
Vijit, unmute your mic.
Yes, sir. Good morning to everyone, my respected principal, CEO sir, honorable guest Dr. Sukanta Sarkar, my juniors, my friends, and my seniors present here today. Today we have gathered here in this webinar to understand the political economic impact of COVID-19 and this pandemic and the appropriate macroeconomic policies organized by the mechanical department. And with us we have Dr. Sukanta Sarkar. Dr. Sukanta Sarkar is an associate professor in the Department of Economics at the School of Business and Economics at Gambella University in Ethiopia, Africa. Previously, he has also worked in Indian institutes such as ICFAI and NIT Agartala and also Tripura University, and has a total of 11 years of experience in teaching the subject of economics. It is an honor to have you, sir, today with us in this webinar. Thank you for being with us. So without much ado, as we are framed in a time constraint, I would like to invite in our honorable principal, sir, to start this event with a few words. Thank you. Sir, your mic might be muted.
Respected Professor Dr. Sukanta Sarkar, distinguished participants, respected faculties, beloved students, and the service provider. Very good morning to all. Today's webinar on potential economic impact of COVID-19 and appropriate macroeconomic policy has been initiated and organized by Mechanical Department, particularly Mr. Suvankar Bhattacharya, Assistant Professor of Techno Engineering College, Banipur, Asaknagar, Kolkata. Dr. M.K. Chandra, being a principal of Techno Engineering College, Banipur, has a privilege and pleasure to introduce Professor Dr. Sukanta Sarkar, who has kindly agreed to associate with us, even though he has a preoccupied exam engagement. Thank you, sir. Thank you with being us. Professor Dr. Sukanta Sarkar now is presently working as Associate Professor in Economics at the School of Business and Economics, Gambella University, Ethiopia, Africa, since 2017. He was obtained his graduation and master degree from Tripura University and awarded doctorate in economics from Behrampur University, Odisha. Dr. Sarkar has a rich experience in macroeconomics and academics. He worked at the ICFI University, NIT Agartala, Tripura University before going to abroad. It is our pleasure that Dr. Sarkar will be with us and hope that everybody will get benefit from his presence and his speech. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, sir, for those lovely words and for the explanation on his position. And I suppose he is the right person to talk to about all this. And without much ado, sir, I would like to invite you, Dr. Sukanta Sarkar. Sir, please enlighten us with your knowledge. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Hello. Hello. Uh, Good morning to everyone. And my name is Dr. Sukanta Sarkar, and I am now from Ethiopia. And first, I thanks to the authority for inviting me for giving the you say the online seminar or discussion regarding the topic of impact of COVID-19 on economy and its macroeconomic policies. So uh, I divide my discussion in three parts. First, I will discuss the COVID-19, the introduction part, and thereafter I will discuss its economic impact on various sectors. And at last, I will discuss various policies what government may take or already taken for revival of the economy. So, um, in introduction, in the initial part, I will start. I think every person know that we are passing through this global pandemic, and it basically affect every sectors, every economy, every person's livelihood, their activities, their lifestyles, all are affected by this global pandemics. And I just start in introduction regarding the pandemic. You know this new types of virus which first identified in China in one city in December 2019. Actually, there is a debate regarding the initial stage of the virus because the Chinese government said that they identified this virus in December 2019, but there is some conflict when actually this virus appeared in China. So many people say that it appeared maybe 3 months ago, and the Chinese government tried to suppress the issue because if people know regarding this virus and it will affect on Chinese economy. So it is possible that this virus may appear before December 2019, but Chinese government declared this virus in December 2019 when one medical team, the Chinese government sent to Wuhan for investigation regarding the matter. And after the virus, the Chinese city Wuhan is more popular, and every person know about this city. And if you see this city is more developed. You can say this is the largest city in the central China. You can say population is more than 11 billion. You can say this is the ninth largest city in China. You can say this is a, you can say that educational transportational hub in China. And this city also known as a Chicago of China because for its features, because for its importance. Um, Regarding the origin, there is one debate. You say that from where this virus basically you can say start. You can say the start is operation, starts is effect. So there is a conflict between the actually Chinese government said that this virus spread from the one seafood market, and this is a zoonotic type of the virus which spread from animal to human beings. And but USA and some its allies they have some doubt regarding this information that it spread from the one seafood market. They said that there is a possibility that this virus may be spread from the Wuhan Institute of Virology because in China there are two virological labs there, and Wuhan Institute of Virology is more popular. And in this lab, they are doing research on various types of the SARS virus. And SARS first time appeared in China in 2009. And there is some investigation going on, or you can say some research or work going on various deadly types of the virus. And the USA and their allies, they have doubted it is possible that any person from this institution or institute are infected, then they go to the market and then infected the people in the market. Although this is a debatable matter, but every person know that this virus first identified in China. And thereafter, this virus spread from China to other countries, surrounding countries. You can say that Japan, you can say that Vietnam, you can say that Thailand, you can say regarding that South Korea, because for the quick transportations, the flight, aviation sectors quickly it spread. And thereafter, WHO take the initiatives. And when it spread quickly, then in January 13, WHO declared this as a public health emergency of international concern. So it means when a virus spread among the countries and it is a threat for the health of the people, then WHO declared from the 6 incidents happened, which WHO declared this as a public health emergency concern. In 2009, everyone know the swan flu in North Korea and North America. In 2014, polio. 2014 again, Ebola in Western African countries. 2015-16, Zika virus. 2018-19, again Ebola in DRC Congo, and 2020 COVID-19 virus. And thereafter, from January, you can say February, when it spread among many countries, countries of various continents, then in 11th March 2020, WHO declared the COVID-19 as a global pandemic. So global pandemic means when any virus spread countries of various continents, yes, and then it called as a global pandemic. So COVID-19 is not a first global pandemic. Previously, many diseases also declared as global pandemic. Like I think you know about the plague also, which first appeared in 1346 to 1353. Then cholera also in 1910 to 1911 in India, it first time identified. Then Spanish flu in 1918 to 1920 in USA, and then 2006 HIV, and in 2019 this is the COVID, you can say 19 disease. So this is the basic introductions you can say regarding this disease, and every person know this disease spread when people come very close through the coughing, sneezing. So this virus spread, and the initial you can say that identification is the fever, cough, tiredness, breathing problems. So this is the basic thing every person know. So these are the first part of my presentation regarding the introduction of the COVID-19. So next you see, this is the main part of my discussion. I will start now regarding the effect on economy. So how our economy will be affected through the COVID-19 virus. And every person know that already our economy, Indian economy, and also other global economies are already affected through this virus. So in this part, I will discuss some points. You see how it happens. First one, you see that Chinese economy. So what is the specialty of this Chinese economy, and what are the main features of this Chinese economy? So China is a second largest global economy. Number one is USA, and number two is China. But in terms of global production, China is more ahead than the USA. In global production, the contribution or share of China is 24%. 24%. So this is far ahead than the USA. USA contribution in global production is only 16%. India is number 5 position, 3%, but China have 24%. And in global GDP, China's share is 16%. And China is the largest supplier of raw material or inputs for the industrial production. So this is the main specialty of the Chinese economy. So how you see the Chinese economy is good connected or interconnected or interlinked with the other economy. So when after COVID-19, initially Chinese economy affected through this virus, then it also start affecting the other economy because economy of China is well connected with the other global economy. And most of the multinational corporations, they already invested their money in China. They invest lots of money for set up their extension, industrial part, new industrial areas, new industries in China. Because for the transparent industrial policy of China government. So when initially Chinese economy affected, then it affect the global economy. Number two, you see, when economy is affected by the COVID-19, it may be India, it may be USA, or it may be Western countries, then government initially try how this infection rate, or you can say number of infected people can be reduced. So in this case, the initial, you can say initiative is the lockdown. You can say regarding the curfew in various cities. So when government introduces lockdown, then again it affect the domestic economy. So lockdown means what? Your economy now stop. Your working is now stop because the industry is closed. You can say that the shopping or other place will be closed. So it directly affect on the economy. Like you can say, due to lockdown, the production from industries is decreased. You can say supply of raw materials, supply of goods in the market will decrease. You can say business prospect will be go downward. And when business prospect go downward, it directly affect on the economic growth. Economic growth will be go downward. When economic growth go downward, then national income of the nation also will be go downward. And finally, when it happen on many countries or largest economy, then we will see a next global recession. So global recession is coming in future. It depends on, you can say, the impact of COVID-19. It is short term, long term, or medium term. Also, it depends on when the new vaccine, new medicine will come in the market. If new vaccines, new medicine come in the market, then effect will be minimized. You can say will be less. But if it delay, you can say 1 year, 2 years, then we will face a global recession. Like I say in India, economic previously grows 5%, 4%. It is not so bad. It's, if you compare with other countries, I say 5% economic growth is good. But after COVID-19, in this year, in second quarter or maybe the first quarter, already our economic growth decreased. And it is projected that in future, our economic growth, Indian economy maybe grows 1% or 1.5% because of the effect of the lockdown or because of the effect of the COVID-19. In other countries, in European countries, economic growth may be zero, growth may be negative. It is possible because of the COVID-19. Because you see, the developing countries are more developed in industry. And when industries directly affect, then their economy also affect directly. So it happened in the USA and other European countries. Because due to you see the European countries, maximum European countries, they follow the lockdown policy. Yes, and it continue. You say in Italy, you can say in France, you can say this Spain, Germany, UK, so all countries they use this instrument initially the lockdown, and it directly affect on the industrial sectors, industrial production, and so their economic growth is downward, and it will be continue until they again reopen the economy with proper health guidelines. So third point I'll discuss regarding the unemployment rate. This is the basic issue. You can see in every country, developed countries, developing countries. So this is the basic issue before the government. So this is a sad story that because because for COVID-19 unemployment rate is increasing day by day. So employment is decreasing. Opposite you say unemployment is increasing day by day. And at the same time, poverty also will be increased because poverty and unemployment are interconnected. If unemployment rate increase, then poverty also will be increased. So this is a common scenario nowadays, both in developed and developing countries. So just to give one example to USA. In USA, what you see? USA unemployment rate now touch, you can say 20%. It is very high. In USA, before the COVID-19, the unemployment rate was very low. Uh, Donald Trump had done some work, so unemployment is very less, only 4%. You can say that 4.5% unemployment. But now, after COVID-19, after 3 or 4 months, the unemployment rate in USA reached the highest position, the 20%. And in USA, more than 33.3 million people, they are now unemployed. They applied for the, you can say, unemployment allowance from the government. So within 3 or 4 months, total picture of the scenario is changed because they are the industrial developed countries. So when industry is closed, when service sector is closed, percent or nearly this. And in India, more than you can say the 1 crore people are now unemployed, and maximum unemployed cases in the informal sector. It is very high. In UK, 10%, 8.5%, unemployment rate. Next, you say regarding that, you say that demand of goods. You say that demand of goods nowadays in the market is decreased. You say that people have less income, people are unemployed. You can say lockdown the goods, their income is decreasing. Next, you can say regarding the foreign remittance. So foreign remittance is a important source of income for the government. Foreign remittance means, like in Indian example, in India to their families for running their activities. For running the activities, they are sent. But due to the COVID-19, you see that now maximum people, Indians who are working other countries, they are unemployed. So in India, the foreign remittance amount will be decreased. And in India, every year, nearly, you can say 5 lakh crore come from the foreign countries in terms of the foreign remittance. And if foreign remittance decrease, then foreign exchange reserve, US dollars, you can say that pound. So all will be decreased. It directly affect on the economy. Then devaluation of currency, local currency, it happens in developing countries. Even in India also, what is the exchange rate with Indian rupees with the US dollar? So it is deteriorating day by day. So 75.5, 76. So it will, you can say Indian rupees or domestic currency is more weaker than the foreign currency. So it will be continue in future if this effect continue in long run. Next, you see that regarding the defaulter. So this is now it is a problem for many countries. That common people may be defaulted. You take loan from the bank, you are unable to pay the money. But this thing nowadays happen to the nation also. Many countries due to COVID-19, their economy go downwards. So they government many times unable to repay the loan to various international monetary organizations like World Bank, IMF. So previously they take loan from those institutions, but now when repayment time comes, they're unable to pay the money because government have shortage of fund, government shortage of foreign currency, their income is deteriorating, the economies go downward. So this is not a correct time for the government to repay the money. Like example, you can say that Argentina. Argentina now defaulted. The government unable to pay the money to the World Bank. So you can say regarding that Lebanon, you can say regarding the other countries like Latin American countries, they are unable to pay the money. So such type of thing will be increased continuously in future if effect continue in long run. So at last, I will say that you see that there are many anti-government movement is going on in many countries because for the COVID-19 effect. Because for the COVID-19 effect, price of goods are increasing day by day. So unemployment rate is increasing day by day. Poverty is increasing. So in the market, there is shortage of the goods. So condition of the common people are not good. So they're facing more challenges. So their life is more rushed nowadays. So it is possible that in many countries there may be some movement against the government because for such type of the problem which people are facing. So these are the basic introduction of the effect on economy. So what you realize? So main thing is effect on economy is negative, and negativeness depends on when government able to reopen the economy, when threat of COVID-19 will be minimized. It means when vaccine will become. All thing depends on this. So every government, not every government, you say that USA government, European government, they spend lots of money for invention of new medicine. They spend money because they know that if medicine come, if vaccine come, then only their economy will be survive in future. So this is the first part, the introduction part of basic impact of the COVID-19 economy. So next, I will discuss. I divide my discussion on various sectors. So how various sectors will be affected because for the COVID-19. So when you see the sectors, you can divide sectors in three parts: agricultural sector, industrial sector, and service sector. So three part you see. So first I'll start discussions. What will be the effect of on agricultural sector? So how agriculture will be affected due to COVID-19? I will say that effect on agriculture is totally negative. So there is negative effect on our agriculture. So demand and supply, such balance is now totally you can say the unbalanced situation in agriculture. So you see that what happened that demand of agricultural goods in market it is less. It is possibly is less. So in economic term I'll discuss, but practically it may not be applied. So you see, so demand of goods what? Demand of goods depends on your income. So nowadays you see more number of people are unemployed, their income is less, lockdown is going on, people cannot go outside. So it is possible that in the market there is less demand of the people because demand of goods depends on your income level. If your income level is increasing, then demand of goods will be high. But now income level of the people is decreasing day by day because of lockdown, because of lack of income, because of unemployment. So income of people decreasing. So price of the good also it is possible maybe decrease, and ultimately farmer will be sufferer because they cannot sell their product in the market because for the lack of demand of their product. And this is a demand part. Supply part you see. So what is happening nowadays? So farmer may produce good, but they are unable to send more amount of good in the market because of the logistic problem. The transportation is stopped. There is shortage of transport in the road. You can say they are unable to bring their product in the market. So far, it is possible that farmer may produce the good, but they are unable to sell the product in the market because they are unable to bring those products in the market, and so they are facing the loss. Second problem they are facing, the farmer in India also, the labor supply. So you know the migrated worker who go in other cities, other place for a working purpose, the agricultural worker also. So nowadays the farmers, big farmers, they face one problem, the lack of labor. So there is shortage of labor in village also because due to COVID-19, people do not want to come in the paddy land for cutting that. You can say the rice, wheat, whatever is there. So this shortage of labor supply also effect on farmer income. So farmer income will be decreased. So
engineering. So should we move to other sectors?
I understand what you want to say. That you see that COVID-19 the pandemic effect. Yes, I think it may not be so long run. It will be short term, medium term effect. All things depends on when vaccine or medicine will be coming to market. So when vaccine or medicine come into market, then we hope that all things will be normal. And at the same time, the government will inject more money to the stimulus package in the industrial sectors. So industrial sector will be survive. So it is correct that therefore and that aviation sectors, or you can say that car industries, the situation is not so good, but it is not for long run. So when you can say that vaccine comes, then when is the government inject more amount of money there, when demand will increase, when flight will be start operations, when lockdown, all those things will be removed, then there will be more demand in these sectors. So no need to shift in other sectors, you see, and hope that very soon very soon you can say all will be normal. I think you understand what I want to say, that no need
Yes.
to shift. Okay, so if
Yes.
any continue your work, yes, and the sector will survive very soon. And actually in India also you see that car industry is not working, performing well also before COVID-19 also. So there are many reasons, you can say, lack of income of the people and government policies also. But my suggestion is no need to shift. You will see that all things will be good.
Everything will be well soon, and the vaccine will be up and running very soon. We all know that India is going to be the mass producer of the vaccine, which is coming from Oxford. And continuing the same pace, the second question is, will after the vaccine is already out, will the recovery be quick like in the stock markets, or will the reality of the world be ever changed like it has been for the past 2 or 3 months? Will it remain, or will it be quick?
You see that it not like a magic that if vaccine come then immediately all will recover. It takes some times. Yes. So if vaccine comes, then economy, then people have more confidence. Yes. Now what I mean, you see, COVID-19 is disease. It is not so very tough or hard disease. It is very simple disease. One type of fever you see. You just see the mortality rate of the disease. How much it is? It is very less. It is 2%, 3%. Yes, it is very less than the other type of disease. Like you can say that the plague, cholera, you can say like rabies virus, the other type of virus. So where mortality rate is very high, but in COVID-19 mortality rate is very less. But people very much fear about the COVID-19. Yes, that government used all those things. The main thing is there is no medical facilities, there is no vaccine, there is no medicine. So this problem arises. So when medicine come, vaccine come, then we hope that all things will normal. But it will take some time also after the vaccine come in the market. It will take some times. Yes, you hope that the recession, you see that this recession will be not long term. This recession will be short or medium. So you hope that within that one or not one, I think it is more than 2 years, 2 3 years it may take. The whole thing will be normal. You hope that 2020, 2021, and after 21, you say all thing will be normal. It will take some time. And within 2021, you see the positive impact in the economy. In 2020 is very bad for the economy, you remember. In 2020, all such type of things not happen. The vaccine will take some time. Actually, for invention of vaccines and coming to market, basically take the 2 years, 2 years time. But but for COVID-19, the government tried that it should come into the market immediately. So we hope that in the beginning of the January or at the end of this year, maybe December, the vaccine may become. And recessions maybe continue 2021, maybe beginning of 2022. then you see economy will be survive. So I think you anything more? I think you got the answer or not? If you
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
any
Yes,
doubt,
sir.
you can tell.
Yes, sir.
No.
It is not a magic.
Completely
It is
understood.
not a magic that makes.
And sir, for the third question, I would like to
Vijay,
bring
one
in
second.
a positive
Vijay,
section.
Vijay, sorry for
Yes,
interruption.
sir.
Indrani ma'am want to ask something.
Yes, sir.
I think. Ma'am, you can ask.
Sure.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Yes. Please.
Ma'am, you might be muted, ma'am.
Yes, Vijay, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Sorry,
Welcome, ma'am.
Bijit. Just a
No,
small
ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
question from my side. Sir, first
Sure,
of
ma'am.
all, I should like to thank you for the lovely seminar that you have been given today. Sorry, it's a webinar. I keep forgetting. Whatever it is, the way you explain the economic terms in a very lucid manner.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You're audible. There might be a network issue. Sir, can we please have Miss unmuted? Ma'am might be unmuted right now.
Okay, I think ma'am unfortunately left the webinar. Okay, due to network issue. Vijay, go ahead.
Okay. So for my third question, sir, I would like to divert the topic into something of a more positive note. I'm of course talking about the news that a lot of industries are coming from China to India. So
This
what are
is
the new
yes.
GDP sectors which are upcoming, and when? Till when can we expect them to?
You say that there may be a positive side, positive future. China, the global production, the contribution of China is 24%. It is far higher than the US. US is only 16%. You see the Chinese government, why you see that multinational corporation of USA multinational corporation, they also want to invest money not in USA, they want to invest money in China. The main reason is, there are many reasons. The most important reason is the policy of the Chinese government. Chinese government have many transparent industrial policy, and industrial policy of Chinese government not change frequently. So policy not change. And second one, you see that the price of raw materials, cheap workers. So there are many benefits in China. So foreign companies, they do lots of foreign direct investment in China. But now what happened? I say there is a conflict between the USA with the China now. Now that those companies like Apple, you can say the Microsoft, they invest money, like you can Samsung or other companies who invest money in China, they want to leave China. And now thing is, in which place or in which country they will invest their money. So in front of this, you say that India may be a good opportunity for them. So some companies, they want to invest money in China, and some countries also, some companies also invest money in the you said that Vietnam. You said, I heard that in Indonesia also. Yes, they want to invest. So there is more possibility that more FDI will come from China due to the COVID-19, because many companies, they want to shift their plant unit from China to India. But in this case, there is two problems before the Indian government. One is competition with the other countries. So here, the important competitor of India is the Vietnam. You say that Indonesia, you say the Malaysia. So where also many, you say the farms, they want to transfer their units. So in India also there is more possibility, but it depends on what type of policy take by the Indian government. What in India you see, industrial policy is not so much transparent. In India, when government change, you see that industrial policy also change in many parts. So it is not good. So it depends on that initiative of Indian government, and it depends on the transparency of Indian industrial policy. It depends on how Indian government will allocate the land or provide other things which needs for the industry, set up the new industries. So you can say there is a positive chance, but it is not so much easy for Indian government also, or you can say increasing FDI from China. And initially, you see those companies invest money in China, they not transfer their all assets from China. Initially, they transfer the 10%, 20%, 30%, and remaining will be continuing in the China. So it will be in phase wise, and I think India also gets benefit from it.
So it was nice listening to you, sir, about that. And sir, continue on the same topic, sir. I was going to ask you, our Prime Minister, our Honorable Prime Minister has asked us to be vocal for local. That interprets to opening small businesses and small startups, and opening our own internal
Vijit,
national
there is a
economy.
question from a student. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Dhiraj, you can ask.
Yes, sir. So, as I was saying, sir, our Prime Minister has asked for being vocal for local. That interprets for opening small startups and small businesses. Is it a
Yes,
good
yes,
time?
yes. Yes, you see that employment, opposite is unemployment. You see, the main issue is now how economy will survive. The main challenge before the government is the creating more employment. Yes. So if people start new business, yes, then employment creation will be increased. You start a business, but you may appoint the other people also. So it create the multiple employment opportunities. So unemployment rate will be decreased when existing industry may be open, when new industry may be set up. So in case of, if you say unemployment rate, then this is good if existing industry open or people start in industry. But I think your question is this is the correct time for starting the business or not. Yes. So you see that now the business perspective is not so much good, because if recession come and it continue, it is not good. But if you start business, and if demand in the market increase, and you remember at this time that Indian government already declared the stimulus package of 20 lakh crores. So if actually this money come in the market, yes, if actually it implement properly, then I hope that in the market also demand for goods will be increased. For employer, if you are an entrepreneur, you start a new business, then you can get benefit from it also, because of the stimulus package of the government. I think you understand or not. Like I give
Yes,
you one
sir.
example. You see that the USA government. You see that you in USA that beginning at the end of the May, in the end of the May, unemployment rate reached the highest. Yes, but I saw in the newspaper that now it decreased. Now in USA, what in USA previously that many states they implement a lockdown, industry is closed. There's a conflict between Donald Trump with the you say about the governor of the other states. But when in US economy start opening, now unemployment rate is the decreasing. In USA now unemployment rate is the 14%. And if economy is more open, more industries you say open, and the restaurants, then service sector is open, then employment will be increased, then unemployment rate will be decreased. So this is the prime, you say, the objective of government to reduce unemployment rate, to create more employment, to create more income for the people. Yes. And so that economy will be survive. This is the main thing, the income generations. And you see that if people have more money, the demand for the good will increase, industry to survive. So this is
So
the thing.
there are two more questions, sir. One, sir, Anurag, sir, please ask your question, sir.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good
I am
afternoon.
Anurag Chakraborty, an assistant professor of mechanical engineering department.
Thank you.
I'm very thankful to you for your speech,
I
sir.
also.
I have a question, sir. As a teacher, we train students for their career. And right now, as you found from the questions of the students, they are very afraid and panicked because of for their career.
It is a discussion.
And due to COVID-19, there is a you already interpreted how there can be a boom of biomedical instrument industry. And keeping that in mind, which are the sectors of manufacturing industry that will be booming in short term and long term? Also keeping in mind the global warming phenomenon and the increasing natural disasters like cyclones and like that.
Again, you can say in the gist, what is the main question?
My question is, which sectors of manufacturing industry like biomedical, we mentioned one,
Yes,
which sectors will be boom?
You see that initially that I think that health sector, you see that now what needs? Now every government try to survive the economy. Yes. So in this case, initially they want to focus on health sector. If health sector is developed, then ultimately you can see this panic. Such panic will be, you say, the minimized. So in this case, the government already, you say, I said previously that those companies who are involved in health sectors, they are earning also money because the demand of their product increase. That medical equipment is very, demand is very high, and prices also increase. They are earning also income. And so short run, you can say those medical. Then you can say that food sector also there is a good possibility that that demand of food is also increased when people have more income with them. And other sectors in long run, that the tourism industry also, I think tourism industry also will survive very soon, because if that flight, that visas, those issues is solved, then people will use this sector also. So tourism sector also will be grow. And survival of the financial sectors, I think it may take some time, maybe the 2 years or 3 years. It depends on how many years recession will be continuing. You see, in 2008, when recession happened in US, it continued for 4 to 5 years. So in these times, it is maybe continue 2 or 3 times. I think the financial sector maybe take some more time. But you say that that health sectors, tourism sector, maybe quickly it may be survive. But the agriculture sector also may take some more time, because in developing countries like India and other countries, that there is more challenge in the agriculture sector. For surviving the agriculture sector, it will take more time in this case. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Sorry, sir. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, tell.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. I would like to forward a question from Dheeraj. He's a student of my college, I suppose. So he asks that we have previously been incapable of taking advantage of the trade war, Last time China won, and will we be able to take advantage this time, or will we give in to China's power?
You see that trade war between USA, India with China, and India with USA, and USA with China. There is a triangle. You see. So first, I'll say that Chinese economy is, you say, more strong in terms of the global productions, in terms of the global interlinkage with the other countries. Yes. So India may take some advantage because for conflict between the USA with the China, the trade war between the US with China because for Donald Trump. And you see the China, one thing is that that exporting and import. So China, the main positive side of China is China export is far higher than import. The China government, the China company, they export more commodities. You will see the every countries, it may developed countries, everywhere you go, you can see the Chinese product. Yes, any continent, I think except the Antarctica. So you go any continent, any countries, use find the Chinese product. What it means? It means Chinese business class people reach every nook and corner of this world. And when Donald Trump came in power, he's total surprise. You see that trade, you say that trade between USA with the China. So that China export more product in USA and import less product from USA. So because trade between with China and USA, who is sufferer? The USA is sufferer because USA import more product from China and export less product to product in China. And China is benefited because China export more product in USA and import less product from US. Yes, and same things in India also. Yes, in India you say in India that in India export is not so much high compared to import. Indian government import large amount of product from the other. So in this case, if USA and other European countries, I say the G7 countries, what the more you can say G7 countries, their share global share in industrial production is more than 54%. So if all G7 countries get together, yes, and there is any conflict between G7 countries with China, then it is possible that India may get benefit from this because when the Chinese economy go downwards, yes, then India may be you say that maybe a good market for the other companies for other countries. So obviously India will get more benefit if you say the conflict between China with USA or other European countries regarding the trade is a balance continue. But you should not be so much hopeful. It will take more time, and there are also many factors behind this. And one main positive side of China is supplying of the you say the imports. I give you one example like this. You see the Indian pharmaceutical companies who produce medicine. India produces large number of the medicine pharmaceutical company. Their volume is very high, but inputs, you know that herbal inputs which use for production of the medicine. Maximum herbal imports come from China and Nepal because this Himalayan area you find out the more number of the herbal plants. So if supply of herbal, you say that which are used for production of the medicine, if decrease, then in India also. So what I want to say that it is possible that India get benefit, but it will take more time. And it depends on the intensity of conflict between the USA with China and USA with the European countries. So anyone more? I hope that respected principals are, if here, if available, also may ask any question regarding this question.
Sir, I do. Sorry to interrupt you, sir, but I do believe that Dheeraj has a follow-up question. So, sir, can you please unmute Dheeraj so he can ask his question?
He is. Where he is
Hello.
now?
Okay,
Hello.
unfortunately, Dheeraj is left.
Oh, Dheeraj has left. Okay, sir. So my final question to you, my fifth and my final question to you would be, sir. Uh, there is a new stand that Indians have taken that that we are supposed to boycott China, and it has caught India like wildfire, but it is gaining international population, as the G9 is being formed, where India and Russia are being included, and all the countries in some way or the other have been affected by China and are planning to boycott China. So, any comments that you would give? Any suggestions how we should approach boycott China?
You see that I think if it actually possible, yes, if Indian people, we are Indian people, if we actually boycott the Chinese product, it is really good for the Indian economy. Because you know that there are many things behind this. Because the Chinese product, about the quality also there is some doubt. And the second thing is in Chinese product, you see that various doll and other plastic things. It is for environment, it is also not good. And in case of one benefit is you see that price of the Chinese product is very less. So because for these reasons, price is less, more features are there in Chinese product. Indian people and people other countries, they purchase more Chinese product because of price and various features. And if people are united, Indian people, all we are all Indian people united, and if you think that you not use Chinese product, we use only Indian products, then it is good for Indian economy. Because Chinese product come in India in two way: by legal way, illegal way. Legal way means India purchase Chinese product as per criteria of the WTO. India should purchase product from other countries. So because China also import product from India, but problem India export product from China. So this is a problem. The export to China from India is less, but import from China to India is very high. So if people not use Chinese product, if you use the domestic product, it is good for Indian economy because Indian government can save their foreign currencies. At the same time, it is good for the existing Indian companies. There will be more demand for the Indian product in the market. And many times that Indian product demand is less because of the Chinese product in the market. Chinese product price is less. There is more features, and poor people they want to purchase the Chinese product because of the less price. And but it depends on whether you say that Indian product is actually substitute the Chinese product in the market in terms of the price, in terms of the features. But this is a good initiative of the people for surviving their countries, for surviving their indigenous domestic you say the companies.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
I suppose it
Any
answers
question?
all the question, but we do have Miss Indrani Roy again. So, ma'am, please take away and ask your question. Although,
Yes,
sir,
ma'am.
please do make your answer very brief because we are in a time constraint. Thank you, sir. Over.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me, sir? Yes.
Good afternoon,
I'm
madam.
sorry. Yes, I'm sorry.
No.
Due to
You
some
tell.
technical issues,
No.
we had to disconnect.
No. Please.
It is just a question of academic interest. I would
Mm.
like to know that through the media, we have been seeing that Trump has been regularly issuing threats to China regarding, removal of his companies, American
Yes.
companies from
Yes.
China. So, is that going to affect India as such? I mean, are there any chances of getting those companies to India, because we too can offer them cheap labor, I feel, and other
Yes.
infrastructure.
That is correct. That is. I understand what you want to say. You
Yes,
see, that,
sir.
actually, you had this Make in India strategy of Modi government. So,
Yes,
which
yes.
started in 2015. So this is the main
Yes.
agenda of the government, that welcoming the foreign direct investment from the other countries in India, so they can invest their money and start a new business, factories, all those things they may start in India. So
Yes.
government
Yes.
already given many facilities, many say that enforcement, then all those things, regulations. They simplify all these things by using that Make in India policy. Now you see,
Yes.
it is a good situation for India, because India already have good relation with other countries. It may be the USA, it may be the European countries, with other countries. India have a good relation. And but regarding Trump, I want to say that actually Trump, you see that Trump in USA, there are many political reasons also that
Yes.
Trump is attacking China many times.
Yes. Yes.
So first you see that USA company, they want to invest money in China previously.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
the multinational corporation,
Right.
you say that Apple, you say that
You're right.
Microsoft, they invest lots of money in China. So
Yes.
previously, why the USA government not stop those company? Why invest money in China? Why not invest money in my country? So
Mhm.
because in China there may be some favorable, you say, the situation for industries. Favorable condition is there. The most
Yes.
important condition is the transparent government policy. In China, one government is continuing year after year. Only one party is there. Yes. So
Exactly.
whatever policy prepared by the Chinese government, it continue forever. It may be 10 years, 20 years. Policy not change. Yes. This is the most important benefit for the you say the foreign companies, because foreign companies they invest money not for short term, for the long term. If
Right.
policy is changed, then the return will be changed. Then they will affect it. So China is a hotspot market for the foreign direct investment. You see,
Yes.
previously also there was competition between India and China in terms of foreign direct
Yes.
investment. But
Yes.
China
Yes.
go far ahead than India in case of the
Yes.
foreign direct investment, because for transparent
Absolutely.
use policy. You see what say that cheap labor. Yes, cheap labor present in India and China in developing countries. It is correct, but cheap labor may be a reason, but most important reason is the transparent industrial policy.
Policies. Yes.
So now you
Right.
see Trump government, maybe some political reason, because election is will go in November.
Right.
Direct
Right.
with the Chinese virus. So Chinese virus is component China want to
Yes.
you say that what's that? China want to reduce the economic strength of the US. So whatever is there. So if China is affected because for conflict with Donald Trump regarding the trade war, and if Indian government able to give better
Yes.
opportunity, better
Yes.
scope to foreign companies, then I think company will become. I had this, some company already showed an interest to invest money in India, but there are also many competitors in India. The most important competitor is the Vietnam, and also you can
Yes.
say about the Indonesia, that Southeast Asian country.
Southeast Asia. Yes.
Yes. Already many companies they also interest to invest money in the Vietnam. So India also get benefit in this situation, but it depends on how much facilities they able to give to the foreign
Yes.
companies compared to the
Obviously.
other
Yes.
competitors, so that those companies who already invest money in China, they not invest
Yes.
money in Southeast Asia country, they want to invest money in India. But in India there is one most important change for this, so that FDI is very less, is the police, industrial policy. In India, industrial policy is not so much transparent. You see, in India, when government changed, many times industrial policy also is changed. In India,
Yes.
there is a problem regarding the land dispute problem is there. In India,
Right.
problem of labor union is there. Yes. So I
Especially in
think you
West
also,
Bengal, sir. Especially in West Bengal, I think.
whatever you hear that Samsung company, Samsung,
Yes. Yes.
it is a South Korea based company. So
Korean.
they set up their factory in the Haryana. But thereafter,
Mhm.
some labor problem happened, trade union problem happened. They shift their company to other place. So such type of, you say that incidents happened in India previously. So if those things able to tackle correctly, and
Yes.
then I think India get benefit. But that
It is quite unlikely, I think, because of
it
the
is
issues
not
that
so
we
easy
have.
task. It is
Yes.
not so
Yes.
easy task, but it is correct that India will get some benefit. But how much
Yes.
benefit India will get? How much FDI India able to get? Because the conflict between Trump and China, it depends on two things. One is how much benefit Indian government can give to the foreign companies, and second is what type of strategy take by the other countries for attracting more
Right,
FDI.
right.
So two are more
So,
important thing, but I think we should be positive regarding this.
thank you so much, sir, for
Thank you.
answering the question.
If any question more, or you can say
No, no,
that.
no. That's all. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Also, you wait for a long time, so
No, no,
thank you
no.
for joining. And
It is my
from
pleasure,
here,
sir.
I think actually I am now in Ethiopia. I think from here internet also not so fast. I think it may be a
Yes, there's a lot of
problem,
connectivity issues also. Yes,
connectivity
sir.
problem with the issue. Not, I think not from your side. It may be from from my side, because your internet not so much fast.
Sir, everywhere. It's everywhere, actually. I was
Because
eagerly waiting for your webinar, and I have really enjoyed the session. Thank you very much, sir.
thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving your time also, because now the time is also more important for every person. So thank you again. So hope that
Okay.
in future also, if any seminar is there, you will participate or join.
Okay. Good day to you, sir. Thank
Good day. Thank you. Hello.
Thank you, ma'am, for the enlightening
Thank
question,
you.
and thank you, sir, for the answer, which was equally more enlightening. Now, I would like to include our honorable principal, sir, to say a few words and conclude this event. Thank you. All the way to you, sir. Hello.
Hello. Hi. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, sir.
Actually, I have some few questions about it. Economics is the backbone of any industry or a country.
Yes.
And now in this panel day,
Yes.
the countries of India like this is a huge manpower and other things. They are getting unemployment and etc.
Yes.
Right? If
Yes.
apart from the government, if individually a small amount can be invested for the business, can
Yes.
the economy can be revival? First question. Second question is what is the contributions of India to the African countries like Mozambique,
Yes. Yes.
Ethiopia, South Africa, Kenya, and Nigeria, Ghana, like that way. Thank you, sir,
Okay.
for your waiting
Thank
for
you.
your answer.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so there are two questions. First, I'll go. You said that contribution, maybe a small contribution to the people for starting the small business, start up a new business. So here you see that two things are there. So in India,
Principal sir, please unmute your phone.
hello.
Yes.
Yes, I want to say regarding in India, you already said that in India there is a huge unemployment problems there. So unemployment is growing day by day because for lack of job opportunities, lack of demand of the workers in India. So if first thing is if people start a new business, it is always good for the family, good for that person. Because if you're unemployed, you see, if you're unemployed, you start a new business. It may be taking loan from the bank. It may be in agriculture sector. It may be service sector. You may start a new shop also, restaurant also. It is always good for you, and it is good for the economy also. I said it previously. If any person start a new business, you are employed. At the same time, you employed to the other people. So if during this time of pandemic, if more unemployed people take the government facility for taking loan and start a new business, it is good for that person also and good for the economy also. So that unemployment problem or rate will be decreased. very fastly if people start a business. And second thing is small amount of business. You see, you want to start a business, it may be small, it may be big, it's not a matter, but main thing is the employment. So you able to employ yourself and employ other people. This is one thing. So, and second thing is regarding the stimulus package which introduced by the government. So for surviving the economy, that you said that small business, all this, okay, it helped, but it cannot be the perfect policy. So there should be huge stimulus package from the government to inject, you say, the money in the market. Then only economy will be survive. But if you start business, all these things, yes, you contribute more. In India, you see, the stimulus package is, I think, the 20 lakhs crores rupees in the government state. And within this 20 lakh crore rupees, that startup, that package also include, so that people can get fund from the government through banks for starting up the business. And this 20 lakh crores is the 10% of the Indian GDP. It is quite high, and I think it will be helpful. So two things is there. First thing is, if people start new business, it is helpful during the COVID-19 because you're able to employ yourself, you employ other people. And second thing is, only by this economy cannot be survived. So there should be huge stimulus package of the government, like US also introduce very big amount of the package, 2.2 trillion. US economy also big, so it will be helpful. I think the first question answer you able to get, sir. So stimulus package should be good, and if you start business, it is also helpful to the economy during the pandemic because unemployment rate may be decreased, and it is very important. Second thing is about the, I think, Indian investment. I think those things you say in the African countries. You see that if you see the historical background, that many times India have good relation with African countries also. So if you go to the colonial period, that India run by the British government in Africa, also many countries like South Africa, Kenya, you can say about that Zimbabwe, those countries also, Nigeria, and those countries run by the British government also. So from that we have good relation in the countries. In Africa, there are some countries present. There are a huge number of Indians. You say that live there. Like Kenya, you can say that Uganda, you can say South Africa, you can say that Zimbabwe, that part also you can say more now. So India good relation, correct? But in terms of the business, India is lag behind compared to the China. So China take a huge aggressive strategy for capturing the, you can say, the African markets. China invest lots. Hello, is it hearable?
Am I audible?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want. Yes, I want to say that in case of investment, China is far ahead of India. So if you go to African countries like in Ethiopia also, everywhere you see the Chinese product. Chinese government set up their various industrial park in Ethiopia also, and same scenario in the Kenya and the other African countries.
Hello.
So in case of the trade, China is far ahead than India in African countries. But India also invest money in Ethiopia and other African countries. Indian industrials already start various industries.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Someone just sorry sir to interrupt you, but somebody
good
just
afternoon to respected principal sir, honorable guest, my dear colleagues and beloved students. I would like to thank our honorable guest, Dr. Sarkar, who honored this webinar with his interesting, valuable speech of current scenario on potential economic impact of COVID-19. Sir, thank you so much for discussing all the sectors clearly. Now, I would like to thank our dynamic and respected principal sir, my dear colleagues and beloved students for making this webinar as a grand success. At last, I would like to share my special thanks to TIG Group, Principal Sir, Shubhankar Sir, Vivek, Moyuk, and Vijay for their hard work and without their help, this webinar would have not been completed. Once again, I thank one and all present here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
At last, okay, thank you. At last, I want to say, I also thank you to the principal sir and other people of your college institutions for giving me scope for discussions in this webinar, and I hope that.
Hello.
And I hope that.
Vijit, where are you?
Sir, I'm here, sir.
And thank you to everyone for these discussions, and I hope that in future also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It was lovely having you, sir, and listening to you and learning from you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Well, to finally conclude this event, there is a feedback form in the background. I would like everyone to fill it up. Thank you. For the students mainly.
Okay. And how it will close? It will close from your side, na? Or I will close here.
Sir, anything works, sir.
Leave, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'll click on leave, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.